What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Dre, the Brute Daniels. What a glorious day it is, because another episode of the Indie Corner, where I sit down with everybody from the independent community, writers, artists, directors, producers. Doesn't matter if you're in the game, I want to talk to you. And today we have a very special guest coming all the way from India. He is the creator of AlZEBRA. Give it up, everybody, for Saahil S Sharma.
Hello everyone, namaste from India.
Yes, namaste indeed, my friend. How are you doing on this fine day?
I hope you all are doing good over there.
Oh yeah. Well, it's rainy, but we're good over here in the States, so it's still doing okay. The weather's finally breaking. Spring is on its way. But I'm so happy that you're taking the time to come and talk to me on this fine day. We got so much to talk about and all the great work that you're doing. Articles, CBR, all this great stuff. You're practically famous. So I'm very, very excited to jump into all the great stuff that you're going on. But for my audience and everybody, let's just get to know you a little bit. Who are you? Where'd you come from? And how did we get here?
So I come from Himachal. If it's a northern part of India. I come from there. I'm born there. I am brought up in Chandigarh, which is also in the northern part of India. And now I'm staying in Mumbai. So I'm sure everyone has heard about Mumbai. So I work as a screenplay writer over here. I work as a story writer over here. And that is it. I've been in Mumbai from the past 10 years, and I've been doing stuff and going here and there. And you'll see some of my stuff on the 70mm soon.
Oh, wow.
My fingers, yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. That's fantastic. So we here in the States, we are completely oblivious to how the comic world works over there in India. So how did you get into the comic game?
So I was just trying to, I've written Professor Ashwathama. That was my debut comic book. So I've written Professor Ashwathama, and I wanted to show how the world would seem. I wanted to do a world building and everything. And if you talk about, you don't get a chance in movies straight away. So I wanted to, that is how I plan to work. That this is a pitch in a way that I wanted to create a comic book around one of the immortals from our mythology in a very different way. So Ashwathama was always on my head. So that is how Professor Ashwathama was created. I approached few publishers because I was very new. I did not know how the scene did work. So if you've heard about Diamond Comics,
yes.
Chacha Chaudhary, and all those characters. So I met late Mr. Gulshan Rai. So he's not with us anymore. God bless him. But he was the first person I met, and he gave me that knowledge. Whatever he could impart, he gave me that knowledge. And I think I started understanding the things clearly. I'm not saying that I grasped it immediately, but I started understanding the things slowly and steadily. So then I think I had this illustrator that I was looking for. There were two people from Vietnam and Philippines. So Marco Michael came into the team, and he's a wonderful boy. And he studied Indian mythology in a very different way. And his take was very different because he was not from India. So I wanted to give it a little of a manga-ish touch to the comic book. So I think he was the right guy to do it. And then he came on board, and we made the first comic, and then I approached few people. And then I thought that why not start with the publishing house? I got in touch with few people. From the industry. I even called, they are very helpful people in India. If you look for the groups in India, they're very helpful people. So when I was starting, I asked like around 10 people to review my comic before it went into print. So, whatever nitty-gritties were there, I could take care of them. So they came up and they helped me out. And, still it was not what as I was new, I did not know there are few more things that I have to work on. But yeah, it went well. It became a hit. And and then I got someone who wanted to rope me in for distribution and publication and also printing. So half of my tension was gone over there.
Yeah.
So that is how, because printing and distribution is a big leap in India. So if you have someone who could help you with that, and that was great. So many people were helpful, and they came up, and I think that is how Cheeseburger Comics was formed.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that because I saw the name of your publishing house. Where did Cheeseburger Comics come from? Talk to me. Look, I'm American, all right? Cheeseburgers are great. I love cheeseburgers. So tell me, how did that name come about?
So when like Mumbai, when I was when I came to Mumbai, and you just come from your home, you don't get any money from home because these are aspirations. You want to become something, and then you come over here. So I think it was a cheeseburger. It used to cost 25 rupees at that point of time. 25 rupees is not even half a dollar. I think less than that. So I think there was always I love them. I used to spend my time in the McDonald's, and I used to work from there. I used to write my scripts because you cannot go to coffee shops. Coffees are expensive.
Oh.
Coffees are expensive, right?
Yeah,
So
well, they're always expensive. That's for sure.
yeah.
But like, that's
So,
fun. That's interesting. So you went to McDonald's to do your writing. That's kind
yeah,
of
so
cool.
I worked from there because there were like around 5 to 6 people staying in one house in Mumbai. If you see strugglers over here, so I don't know how the scene over there is, but there are normally 5 to 4 people staying in one BHK,
Yeah.
or one bedroom, one kitchen, or so there's no space so for you to think. So I think I always used to go over there, and that cheeseburger comics always. I think cheeseburgers were always that I loved. They did not cost that much, and also like I like Iron Man. So I think that all came up together. I think the forces came together, and the cheeseburger comics, and also I thought that everyone loves cheeseburgers, right? Everyone,
Everyone.
most of them. I should not say everyone. That would be very generic. But yeah, many people like cheeseburgers. So I wanted to create something that everyone could like, and I think that is how the name stuck.
That is very clever, and I wish I thought of it. That's great. That's great.
So that's just the story of cheeseburger comics.
That is tremendous. Now, you mentioned earlier about the comic that I'm gonna try my best to say it right, Professor Ashwathama. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness. And I couldn't help but notice that there was a CBR article about this great work, and I think this was the third issue that you end up dropping throughout this series. So, how many of this arc? How many issues did you drop for this comic?
So three are out. Fourth is coming somewhere around August. So that is going to be the finale. And
Oh,
yeah, so that is going to be the finale. And hopefully I'll be doing more work with Professor Ashwathama and the characters inside it. So, but this story, this arc would be complete in 4 parts.
very good. Very, very, very good. And I'm just looking at some of the great art that you put together for this arc. I really like it. I'm really, really impressed. It looks really, really cool. So we know that you're the writer and the brainchild behind this arc. Or did you do the art as well?
No. Marco Michel. So this guy is from Philippines. He's like a really kick-ass guy, if I am allowed to say that.
Yes, you are.
So he's really kick-ass, and he actually read a lot of I should say articles on Indian mythology, how the characters used to look, how he can make them, how can he give them his touch while keeping the Indianness.
Keeping the
So
Indianness. That
yeah,
is
so
a
that is
perfect expression. Wow.
that is very important. I come from India, and it is very important for me. Whatever I'm doing, there should be some roots. You don't forget your roots. That is
Absolutely.
how important it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, how was the reception for this comic? Obviously, it did very, very well to get the attention of CBR. So did you get a lot of popularity at home? In India, that's where it really, really got explosive.
So yeah, I think we are a very small industry right now. It's but we have got very good people over here, very good artists over here, very good writers who are also working in DC and Marvel from India. So I think it's a very small community, I might say, and people love the story, artwork. I think it was subjective because it's always subjective.
Of course.
But majority loved it. A distributor wanted to distribute it, and it was in many bookstores that it got the eye. And then I also got some money to make the second part, and then the third part. And that is how the journey of I think it was that is how it became popular. The content was very important, and
Always.
I could connect many people with it, and then it was available everywhere.
That's
Like
tremendous. And to see, and I forgot to ask, when did you start publishing that series?
it was in 2021.
Oh, this is relatively fresh.
2022, yeah, 22 somewhere to 2022
Wow.
in June. I think the first Professor Ashwatthama came up.
Wow.
So it went really well, and thankfully it was loved by people. It's still loved by people.
That is tremendous. And that's why I meant to ask it earlier, because I'm like, yo, this thing seems to be popping off. We have expression over here like gangbusters. All right, so it's like wow, like this has really gotten explosive really quick. And I see that the CBR article it just dropped in February, so I'm like wow, this is really taking off. And for someone that is relatively new to the industry to get this type of traction, obviously you're doing something that's, as I like to say, tremendous. So that's really cool.
I'll just say like I've got good people around who are always there to help me with things, so that helps a lot.
And you're in a very lucky position because you're in a like pretty much burgeoning market over there in India. Because when you think of comics, you don't really think of India. You know, you can only think of the States. You know,
That's a good. Yeah.
yeah. And so like in the States, it's a far more competitive market to try to get your comic to be seen, recognized, whatever the case may be. Like I've been a comic creator for many years, and I've recently released my first trade paperback after a number of years because I worked on a series for like 5 years and it went over well. I'm like, all right, trade paperback time, let's do it. But it was a lot of work and a lot of traction, a lot of stuff I had to put into it to try to get it, as we like to call, over the hump. Because it's really competitive, especially in the indie sphere in the States here, because Marvel and DC, they've had their issues over here, and now independent comics we're now rising to the top. So it's been a heck of a journey for sure. But to see that you in a very short period of time have really gotten a lot of good traction, I clap my hands and tip my do-rag to you, my friend. That's
Come on.
really good.
Yeah. So thank you so much. But I think it's always about the people. It's always about the team. It's always a team, I think.
I agree. Always a team effort. Speaking of a team effort, you mentioned those that have helped you out. So outside of your artist, did you have anybody else? Did you have a colorist? Did you have other people to be involved?
So Marco was only doing the colors. We wanted to experiment some style into the first comic, which was like it was appreciated and not in that sphere. So then in the third part, when he came back, he was not in the second part. So where I actually hampered a lot of sales. So he was not there. So third part, he was back and he did the colors only. He did the pencil and inks, and he's the one who's taking care of all these things.
Got it. That's perfect. And that's a beautiful thing. And now, do you keep the same team throughout all of your work?
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
So we have just published. This is the first part that we have published. We are coming with another comic as well, which is Tarang and Tansen's Tanpura. It's a musical superhero. So that is a different artist, different colorist. We're also coming with Anonymous. It's being drawn by a Brazilian artist. It's going to be Carlos is coming up to draw the art of this.
Okay.
And it's a different style that we are trying. So we're just trying to have a different style, different stories, something that connect, have more Indianness to it, because that's how I write.
I like that.
I don't know about it, but that is how I write.
And and it's good to create a signature style. Like me, I'm episodical and urban. That's usually like it's a very signature style when people see my work. They're like, oh, That was Dre. He did that. It's very deliberate. And so the idea that you're keeping you, and I love the way that you put this Indianness. I love that term. And Saahil, I'm stealing that. That's my term now. I'm taking that.
All yours, please.
Yeah. Speaking of Indianness, you were also in another article in the New Indian Express. Now, I'm not too familiar with that news site. Obviously, it's from your home. So they did a pretty interesting article on you, and I gotta say, the salmon shirt that you're wearing in this joint is absolutely fantastic.
That's an old picture. I need to have. I think I'll need a photo shoot in a few days or something, because I'm sending are my old photos to everyone. So.
Well, I love it. I love it. And there was a couple comics that I didn't bring up earlier that's sandwiched next to you, and I hope I'm saying this right. Agent Jin Operation Ganga. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that is Agent J. J for Junior in Operation Ganga. So Agent J in Operation Ganga. So it's about the Ganges. If you know Ganga, River Ganga.
I'm not familiar. Help me out, brother. Help me out.
So Ganga is very holy to us. It is so whenever it is the holiest river. Like we consider it as the holiest river. And in the recent times, pollution and everything, there's been a lot of pollution going around, and so I wanted to write something on environment while keeping, again, I'm talking about India at its core. And what I did is, there was this operation that happened, Nanda Devi operation with CIA, and IB. We wanted to spy on China. I'm saying we because you're.
Yeah.
So we wanted to spy over China in around the 60s or somewhere. So we went to this Nanda Devi peak, and there was some plutonium that we left over there. So how I connected that story, that how plutonium has seeped into Ganga, and the pollution that is already there in Ganga has come together, and there is mutation.
Interesting.
So how I've tried to sew it around, I'll just say, and create Agent J in Operation Ganga. So that is the story. Rest, you'll have to read it. I think it'll be available on Amazon US soon.
Okay.
So request you to please grab a copy.
Okay, that is, and I see, and I love when you blend, and I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. I love it when you blend reality with a fantasy elements. I love that. I love that a lot. One of my books that I wrote was about a mutagen that is added into the water supply of Washington, D.C. For those that live in my city, knows that there's a water treatment plant on an interstate called 295 that smells like absolute death. Right? And so we always assume that somebody's doing something nefarious over there. And so I was able to kind of blend that reality with those fantasy elements. So I love that. I like that a lot. That is really cool.
So that is how I think that is how we should write, right? Whatever we love, and how we can, I think, show it to others that what we love to read and what we love to watch, and that is how it is.
I agree. I agree 110%. If we're able to take a piece of ourselves or a piece of our environment or the way we live, our lifestyle, and then add it to our work, I think it makes it more real. I think it comes to life a little bit more. Now, over here in the States, sometimes people lose track of that, and sometimes they oversaturate their story with self-inserts. We use that term a lot around here. Yeah. And sometimes the self-insert overpowers the story, and that's where things get messy. But based on what I'm seeing here and the work that you've been doing, it looks like you found a nice little balance really early in the game too, which I'm very impressed with.
Come on.
Very impressed. It's really, really good. I like that. Now, we got stuff that's cooking up now. We got some stuff that's from the past. Now, let's get to the main event of WrestleMania here. AlZEBRA. Tell me about this because I saw the character. I fell in love with the art style. It reminded me of like a cross between Doctor Strange and like, if I don't know if you ever watched something called The Rocketeer, but it kind of gave me that a vibe of like old school 1930s, 40s feel. Talk to me, my brother. Talk to me.
So, if you see, the cover is done by a different artist.
Yes.
He is very famous over here, Dildeep Ji. He is an amazing artist indeed. And the interior art is done from, I call him the Eastern Lion, Harsha Mohan Chaturaj. So he is, if you can see, I think, can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
So he's got this style to his art.
Yes.
And so AlZEBRA, like talking about AlZEBRA as a project, like Sanjay Gupta. So I think everyone should know this name, Sanjay Gupta. He's also known as the father of the Indian superheroes.
Yes, I know that name.
Superb. That's so amazing. So Sanjay Gupta sir has come up with this idea that he wanted to create this magician, something based on the magician, and we were just brainstorming about how it can be. So Al and Zebra, these are two different names. So Al is Alpesh, a boy who can hypnotize people, but he doesn't know how his power is there and how it comes. And Zebra is his pigeon who steals money for him.
Really? Zebra's the pigeon.
Yeah, so Zebra is it's very awkward to have a pigeon named Zebra. So yeah, that is what we wanted to do. So we wanted to have a very a ring to it. So Zebra and Alpesh, they are trying to, her mother cannot see, so they want to get her operated, and there's a lot of money that is needed. So how Zebra helps him steal the money, but he has got this power of hypnotism which he cannot control. And on the other hand, if you so there's this stone which is found in Nepal. So this stone is like very holy to us. Like it is going to it's going to be carved into a statue of Lord Ram. So it's going to India. So they have a plan to steal it. So there's this villain who wants to steal this, and how he takes Alpesh's help, and Alpesh and Zebra, and how Alpesh, and we come to know what is Zebra to him, and how this story blends, and how he comes to know his real powers, what is the real identity of Zebra, and how so how they stop the even if they do the heist, after heist, how they stop this villain. So this is a very in a very if I call the synopsis, I'll say that in a home that strictly forbids magic, a 22-year-old Alpesh harbors a unique power. He can hypnotize even though he struggles to fully understand or control it. Facing his mother's deep disapproval, he sets out on a journey with the Zebra, a clever pigeon stealing to fund Alpesh's mother's surgery, becoming one of the closest companions. When destiny crosses paths with the enigmatic magician Indrajal, he is also a villain in pursuit of the Shaligram stone. So Shaligram stone is the same stone from which the statue of Lord Ram will be carved. So it is very holy to us.
I see.
So so it has got something inside it which he wants to steal, so he can be the greatest magician in the world, the villain. And how Alpesh, who doesn't know what his intentions are, and he just wants money for his mother's surgery, he teams up with this villain guy, and how he comes to know that he's actually a villain, and he's going to hurt people, and how he turns around, and how he comes to know that Zebra, who is Zebra to him, and how they are connected together, and how then the climax happens.
Wow. That's okay. All right. So a lot of what your character designs are usually based off of your culture and your faith, and I think that's wonderful. I think that's really, really cool. But how is it? I just find that so fascinating. How is it that you found a way to seamlessly still blend your holy elements into a fun story? Like, what's your process when it does it? Because now you're dropping 3 or 4 of them in a row, and you still have the exact same process. So what is that process? How do you fuse that?
I have no idea actually, but this was the concept of Sanjay Gupta sir, and how we try to blend. We actually brainstormed about it, and I said like in a recent news I read that there's a stone that is found in Nepal that they are taking to India. How powerful it is. How we see it as holy. There were lakhs of people on the road to see that stone, so it was a real news. So I just wanted, how powerful it can be. So we wanted to blend something from the reality into a fiction, keeping our protagonist simple. Because simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and I believe that very. I think it is simplicity is nice, and I think it is how I go. So we wanted to keep the protagonist simple, who is struggling in his life like a teenager does.
Yeah.
And how zebra, like there are many instances where we have seen there's a bird who's stealing money. There were many instances that I've seen that there's a bird who's stealing money from people. So how we blended it together, and that is how AlZEBRA was formed.
Wow.
And I think Sanjay sir he's very I might say that he's got a very different brain and experience as well, and how he supports the idea. And I think that is how the AlZEBRA came up, and there are many more coming from Alpha Comics, which are his concepts, and I'm also writing few of them.
Wow, that is really good. So, do we have a release date for AlZEBRA just yet?
The English has released. The Hindi will be releasing soon.
Okay.
So I don't have the exact date. So AlZEBRA English has released in after Hyderabad Comic Con.
Okay. All right. Paint me excited. That is cool, man. That is cool.
Mumbai Comic Con is also coming up on the 20th and 21st of April, and we hopefully have two more releases. Which one is the War Cook, and one will be so War Cook is a love story again. It's about this old man who wants to save an old age home, and he's going to go to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where he dug 2 sacks of gold during the Japanese Anglo War, and
Wow.
he's going to go back there, and he's going to take out those sacks, but the story is all different. Like whatever he's saying, you cannot believe that old man.
Oh wow, that's good. That's you had me at hello, Saahil. I'm sold. I'm sold, brother. I'm sold. That is really good, man. That's really good. I really do appreciate you coming on, sharing all this great stuff. Not only just your great work, but your tremendous journey, which is, look, take it from somebody that's been in the game a long time. This is darn near unprecedented that I've seen in a long time. And to see that you're doing so much great work in such a short period of time, and you're creating something that's part of you, that's in your heart and in your soul, I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing all that with me.
No, thank you so much for calling me. Like it was always like I was very excited to meet you, because I never, no one from abroad has ever called me before. So it was I was excited to be with you, and I'm sure like we'll be doing more of this in near future.
Oh, I would love to have you back. Now, before I let you go, there's 2 things I need from you. One, where can people reach you? Social media, all that great stuff.
So the Cheeseburger Comics is on Instagram, Facebook. Alpha Comics is there on Instagram, and Alpha Comics Studios is there on Instagram. My Instagram is the Saahil S Sharma, and you'll find me there. Just say hello, and I think I'll get in touch with you. And before I also go, I just like to say that thank you to all the people who have supported me in India, who are the readers and who have loved the work, who has given me good feedback, who have been positive. It's given me good feedback, and they're giving me feedback, like feedback good or bad, that doesn't matter, but I like to thank them. And also we lost a very good man recently, Mr. Ninad. So one of my friend, he was a friend of his, and I like to pay my I just wish that he rests in peace wherever he is. So to that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for those words of encouragement. Absolutely. And one more thing, where can everybody over here in the States get their hands on your work, my friend?
So Professor Ashwathama is available. The Kindle version is available in US, Europe. It's available. AlZEBRA will be available soon. So will be Agent J in Operation Ganga. and many more that are coming. Chehel Behel will also be available, and we're just trying to. I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you posted in that case. But Professor Ashwathama is available in Europe and US and London and many more countries. So people can go to Kindle and they can read it. Unlimited Kindle unlimited users can read it absolutely free. So please go ahead and do let me know the feedback. And I like to work on it because I'm still learning and there's a lot to go.
Wow, well, that's tremendous. I'm so glad that we got some opportunities to get our hands on over here in the States. So I'm going to leave all Saahil's great links, all the great work, all the stuff he's doing in the description section below. Everybody check out his work. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on his website. Cheeseburger Comics is the greatest name of all time. Definitely check all that out. I'll leave it in the description below.
Also, also to all the people who are watching, there are many other publishers in India who are doing great work. So you should also check out their work. There's Holy Cow. There's Bullseye Press. There is Chitragatha. They're doing some unconventional work. So you can also go there. There is Raj Comics. You can also go if you want to. If you're a fan of the 90s, if you want to, how it is rebooted by Sanjay Sir. So you should go there and read it. You'll find everything over there. So there are many other publishers that we have. Yali Dreamworks. Like you can go there. Amazon just picked up one of their series and they made it into Amazon series. So it was a great feast for all the Indians over here. They're one of the first comic book to be, to go into Amazon. So that was fun. So there are so many other people that you should go ahead and read to.
Absolutely. Perfect shout out, Saahil. Look at you. You're getting good at this. Well done, my friend. Well done. Well, everybody, that man over there is Saahil S Sharma. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart from coming onto my show and doing all this wonderful stuff. Now, who am I? I'm Dre the Rude Daniels. Follow me on my dope social media platforms. I put them right under my face. They're not there yet, but they will be at TheBrute00 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if I feel like being silly, on TikTok. This has been the Indie Corner. You all have been fantastic, and I'll catch you all next time.